combo. Pressure and temperature sensor. So we got our RIFE sensor yesterday. It's a combo, so it does temperature and pressure. So we're going to end up hooking that up. So we got a 4. There we go. We got a 4. Let's get some connectors. So I already have 3 of the pins ran for the oil pressure, so I just got to add 1 more for the ECU side, but for this I got to add all of them, so we'll get that out. And so the sensor is actually attached to the harness, so this harness might be a little bit longer, but once I start looming the factory harness, or the harness that I made for the actual engine, we'll just shorten that one up. And on the computer side, we have this extra harness. We have this extra harness or wiring. So I want to say, what up?
I was just looking for the seed that I bought.
That's right here. Let me say it's this one. There's one that's not used, so yellow, AVI9, which is this one. It's yellow. I just want to confirm. I got the diagram. AVI9. AVI9, yellow. It was a map sensor. This is just a 5 volt, which we already have that over there. Sensor brown. I think this is a 12. Is that 12 volt? Yeah. Okay. So this yellow one is the one I'll use, because that is going to be the AVI9, and we'll turn that into the temperature sensor. So let's get this pulled out of this loom. Put that over there. Cut it the same length as the other ones. Cut her over here. we go. So that one's disconnected. Now we get the new connector. We'll have one that's powered. We'll have two as the ground. We'll have the white, which will go in 3. That will be oil pressure. And then we'll have the new one, yellow, which will be oil temperature. And that will go into 4. There we go. So they're all in there. Oh, did it backwards. One is power, 2 is ground, 4 is for oil pressure, 3 is for oil temperature. Alright, let's put the clip in there, the retainer. Or the lock, whatever you want to call it. So it does have 5 wires coming out. 2 are ground, 1's a power, and then 1's for each signal. We're going to put the 2 grounds together, which is the white wire and the black. So right there it says signal ground reference, temperature ground. They're the same. I talked to RIFE. I called them today just to verify. Super awesome guys over there. I think I talked to Randy and Jason. Both were very helpful. So strip back a little bit more wiring. Here. So again, we got number 1 as power, which is going to be this one. 1 power. Locked in. 2 was ground. Then we had 4 as pressure. So 4 is pressure, and that is going to be the blue one. And then yellow is temperature, and that's going to go into 3. There we go. Now it's tight. Now this is the harness for it. Again, we'll shorten it up once we start building the harness. And we don't need this. Oh, so it had 2 pressure sensors because I'm still waiting on that OE sensor to come in so the gauge will read. But for now, we got all that on there. But I went into the settings, oil temperature, wiring. I have it as the AVI 9. See if we can get this larger. Yeah, it's AVI 9. We have it as a pull-up, we have it as enabled, analog is resistance, and I got that from their website because it's a resistance type. So, I'm not sure if you guys are going to be able to see that, but it says temperature, and then it shows the resistance, and then pressure shows its voltage. So in the temperature section, I just kind of threw in a couple parameters. Did the lowest, obviously did the highest, and then I think I went every 4 down. I just grabbed it and threw it in. So that's when you go to the calibration page. As you can see, I did the resistance at 91 and 97.4, 103, and then I went up to the max that it shows on here, which is 157.32. That would be 300 degrees on this one. So I just threw it all in there. Display, I kind of threw in a warning. If the oil temperature gets above 200, it'll flash a warning. I don't have any type of display or gauge, but eventually I'll wire it in, maybe to something, to like a check engine light, or maybe I'll get a can display, a circular one, maybe fill in some of these crappy holes. Diagnostics, I haven't done anything in here, so this will throw the codes in here, so we'll figure out how to do that. And then for the oil pressure, the Haltech comes, the table's already kind of preloaded for 150 psi. This sensor only goes up to 100. I don't think I'm going to see anything above 100 once the car is warmed up. So after I did all the parameters, I just threw in a few for the oil pressure. There's 5 of them. I could throw in more, but I think that's good enough. We'll close that. Have it on the diagnostics page. So then you can see the oil pressure's here, the oil temperature's there. Shows it's about 57. Start up the car. And you can see the oil pressure, it shows it's over 100. I'm assuming because it's just warming up and it's kind of thick, viscous. And you can see the temperature is fluctuating around about 5